This is an action-packed film with each character bringing their own physicality to the role. How did you get ready to be Barry Allen?
It was one of my favorite things about doing this work was incorporating a bunch of different practices that I had before going into this project and ones that I adopted specifically for this project. I'd say three major factors that I trained in really hard were some forms of dance, like modern dance, things.
Wow.
Working with some people who just understand movement in an interesting way to think about this bizarre quantum reality that this character lives in. So worked with some dancers, worked with this guy named Zach Winokur, who's a great friend of mine, is a brilliant choreographer. Talked to my mother, who's a wonderful dancer.
Yeah.
I continued to practice yoga, which means union, which is there's a physical element to that practice, which has to is a really sophisticated exercise regimen, especially for like increasing things like flexibility and focusing on the breath. Which, if you think about the Flash, he's got to breathe, you know. And the third thing, and probably the most important, the center of the practice, was Wudang Kung Fu.
Wow.
And I actually got to train in that for a couple years before actually going to China, to the Wudang Mountains, and training at a traditional Taoist school with a very, very skilled and blessed master. And so that was a great honor and something that I'll carry with me going forward. And it's very useful for the Flash. If you see, there's certain moments where you might see certain influences from those practices involved in the way he lands or takes off, or in the moments that you see him running, what it looks like.
One of the themes of the movie is teamwork and being in a team and working together. Can you tell me about one of those moments on set that you remember?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what stands out is, moments when some of us would train together in the gym. I remember this time when they put Ray and I through something that they do in combat conditioning when Navy SEALs are going to go into combat together, where essentially one person is holding a very heavy weight while the other person does a very rapid exercise that they have to complete in a certain amount of time. The faster they complete it, the sooner you can let go of this weight, which you hold on your chest so it restricts your breath. It was very intense, you know what I mean? This is like a very intense training exercise. And for Ray and I to do that together, it wasn't just good for our physical training. That was a bonding experience that brought us closer together to, go through that suffering and to be reliant on one another to make it through something.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, we did stuff like that. It was really fun. I mean, the whole process, and I really enjoyed the company of everybody who I got to work with on this, which is a nice thing.
Yeah. If you weren't the Flash, which other member of the Justice League would you want to be?
Like one of the ones who's in the movie, or just any
You can
member
be
of the
anybody.
Well, man, I don't know, Hawkman or Martian Manhunter is very cool. I like that character a lot. I love he really explores the ideas of being alien, and he has wonderful weaknesses, as fear of fire and things like that, and is a very fascinating sort of removed character with this very broad view of the world. Or it would be cool to play someone like Spectre, who's maybe on the sly one of the most powerful superheroes in the whole pantheon. This godlike ghost.